Mastery is going straight into building aura. When you know what you're doing, a girl can tell when you know what you're doing. And when you know what you're doing, she's going to be more calm. She's going to be more calm. You're going to be more calm. You know what to respond to. You know what not to respond to. You know how to escalate the right type of way. You know when to pull off. When you can do all of this stuff, it's going to naturally build your aura when talking to girls in the future. So we're putting this one at the top. All right, next we have female nature experience. This is a game changer for sure. I could have put it as human nature, but I'm a guy, so obviously I talk to women. But if you're a woman, you know, you could put male nature or human nature. It's the same thing. Basically, that just means you understand what humans are. You understand that they're animals, and you accept it for what it is, right? Like, you might be like, dang, bro, how come 1 second this girl is being darn near disrespectful, being bipolar, and in the next minute she wants to be up under you? Why is that? You know, that's just the way people act when they're emotionally attached to you can be very volatile. You feel me? That's just what it is because their emotions are involved. So you have to kind of learn to accept it for what it is. That does not mean you're tolerating disrespect. But what it does mean is you understand the situation. That way you can respond better. You feel me? Hey, look, we never tolerate disrespect. Just because, you know, it might be somebody's time of the month, doesn't mean they can be just straight disrespectful to you. But at the same time, you can be more understanding and recognize it for what it is. And, you know, same thing on the female side. You could be understanding of a man's nature while still not tolerating disrespect. All right, next I'm going to go with calm under pressure. Yeah, we got MJ here. I'm a LeBron fan, but we got to put MJ here because being calm under pressure is goated. You know, this is basically like you sitting down, bro, and you got a bad joint in front of you, a girl who is a bad Biddington. If she's a supreme bad Biddington, bro, if you don't have that type of experience, you might be nervous. Let's be for real. You might be nervous. And look, you can still hoop while you're nervous. Don't get me wrong. You can still score while you're nervous. But if you're able to be calm under pressure, under the bright lights, because you know, hey, look, I've been here before. I've won a ring before. I deserve to be here. I'm a champion. I'm him. If you have that mentality, that's going to make her more calm, and it's going to make her trust you. And now it puts her in the boat of, dang, he's really calm. Especially the bad Benningtons, they're used to people being nervous. They're used to dudes crumbling under the pressure. They're used to dudes just being like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I never talked to a girl like this. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're used to. So if you don't play that role, she's like, dang, okay, he might actually be worth his salt. Girls know what I'm talking about, for sure. Like, most dudes just completely crumble if the girl is extremely attractive. So you being able to be calm under pressure, it separates you from the rest. Now they feel like you understand them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not just, like, they'll literally tell you, like, oh, I feel like you really understand me. All because they can see that you're not putting them on no type of special pedestal. You're accepting them for as a human, and you're not doing too much. All right, next we have no more cringe. This just basically means, and I put this in a game changer, low key. Look, you don't need to date around to have no more cringe. That's why I didn't put it in building aura. But at the same time, it does help you like realize that who cares if you're cringe? Who cares, bro? Really, who cares? As long as you're being respectful, who cares? Somebody could think that you're cringe. That means nothing to me. If somebody thinks I'm cringe, I don't care. And you realize this just by, it basically just means having full self-acceptance for who you are. Because when you've dated around a little bit, right, that just means you've interacted and you've expressed interest in a lot of women and you receive interest from a lot of women. You realize that all these insecurities that you might have had are darn near meaningless, right? As long as you put in the work to get yourself to a certain point, you feel me? Once you get to that point, you realize like, hey, look, I don't have to be perfect. I could just be me, you feel me? And I'm going to just be the best version of me and let the chips fall where they may. And you just like, you're not really tripping. That's why I put the peaceful dude here. Like, it is what it is. Let the chips fall and see where I stack up at. I'm fine with it because I trust myself and I accept myself for who I am, right? All right, next we have pattern recognition. I'm going to put this one in Bill's aura. You feel me? Because when you've played these games before, when you've seen certain things lay out, you just understand certain things. Like, you understand, like, hold on, I haven't heard from Shorty in 3-4 weeks. Or not even heard. I haven't seen shorty in 3-4 weeks. That's mighty suspicious. Alarm bells are ringing in your head like, okay, this isn't really we're approaching the danger zone. This is not a good sign. Or a girl might say something, or if you're a woman, a man might say something where you're like, whoa, what did you just say? You said that you don't deserve me. Or maybe somebody says something like, oh yeah, every single person I've been with was an extreme narcissist. Now you just really thinking like, if everybody you've been with was, a dude might say, oh, every girl I've been with was bipolar, or a girl might say, every dude I've been with was a narcissist. You have to really start thinking like, every single person you've been with, you had a negative experience with. I'm sensing a pattern here. You feel me? And the pattern recognition basically just helps you be able to see the next step. Or if somebody tells you like, oh yeah, I used to be a cheater in the past, or you know that somebody's a cheater, it's like, bro, if you know that this person is a thief, I'm not leaving nothing around you if you a thief. I'm locking all my valuables. I'm keeping an eye on you. Like, hey, bro, let me see your pockets before you leave the crib. I mean, making sure I got everything before you step out. Because people always say, oh, man, I changed. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different person. I'm a changed man, or I'm a changed woman. But at the end of the day, it's hard to change. So until we see very concrete proof of that change, we're going to have to stick to the pattern and the precedent that you set with your actions. You feel me? All right, next we have funny stories. I'm going to put this one in upgrade. It's just, again, that you don't have to date around to have funny stories, right? But it is true that in dating around, there's going to be a lot of funny stories and a lot of fun experiences that you encounter. You feel me? Through living life. And this isn't even just about talking to women. It's just, talking with the fellas. You could have funny stories and funny experiences, give people advice or what have you, or just be more relatable just from situations you've been through, right? And again, this can happen with you just talking to one person as well. You don't have to necessarily date around and talk to multiple people for that to happen, but it's more variety. It is what it is. All right, next we have higher standards. I'm going to put this one in upgrade as well, because again, you don't need to date around to have high standards, but let's be honest, when you're dating around, you understand like, hold on, if shorty really mess with me, then she acting like this. If this person acting like this, they might not really mess with me like that. So you could fall back or just completely cut them off the team, because, and if you're a girl, same thing. If you're a girl, you're like, hold on, why is this dude acting like this? If a dude really mess with me, you know what I'm saying, he not going to be not responding to my calls. He not going to be not messaging me for 3-4 weeks. That's how a girl's thinking. And girls naturally have, I'm not saying girls naturally date around, but girls naturally have, to my next point, an abundance mentality. A lot of dudes don't really have this, because most dudes aren't in abundance. It just is what it is, When you're a dude, in order for you to get an abundance, you have to really work on yourself. It's not to say that women don't have to work on themselves. And a lot of times, abundance doesn't necessarily mean that all the options, you can see the dude, he's running away from the options, because they're not all good options. Some of them are just options. They're not quality picks. You feel me? Like, okay, you got some draft picks, but some of these are second round draft picks. These are not all going to be top 10 draft picks. Like, oh, this is a franchise player. Not all the time. But at the same time, having an abundance mentality pretty much just helps you for, hey, look, if a pick was a bust, maybe we drafted this player second round and they didn't pan out. It's all good. We got another pick next season. I'm not tripping. I got other players on my team that can step up and fill that role. So it just pretty much helps you understand that there's more efficiency, so you don't need to trip over something. And I didn't put this in Bill's aura because you don't need to date around to understand this. Even if you just have an abundance mentality of life, that means, hey, look, if a situation with a woman is not going the way I want it to, that's fine. I can now put this energy into something else. There's an abundance of things for me to do with my energy. So if one door closes, another door is opening. It might not even be another relationship. I'm not saying that, but it could just be another experience in life that you can now devote your energy and time to. All right, next we have emotional residue. I'm going to put this one in double-edged. I feel like every girl that you've been with, that, what I'm saying, you actually have feelings for, there's good memories attached to there. What I'm saying? You might not have any emotions or feelings for them right now in this moment. You might, not for them as a person. It is what it is. But for that moment in time, it was a good memory. it was it was genuinely a good memory. You had a good time, she had a good time. You know, y'all was laughing together. Like it was good energy, good vibes. But it's over now, so sometimes you can get a little bit nostalgic, and that's where it can kind of lean into being a slight L, which is why you have to always, accept the past and, enjoy the good memories, and at the same time live for the future. You got to do both. You can reminisce and enjoy the good memories and still live for the future while also accepting the present. You feel me? All right, next we have false abundance. So this is kind of what we was talking about. I think this is a slight L. You have so many options, like, oh, I could get this one, that one, that one, that one. And then you look around, you see in the picture here, he looking around, he got 2 ghost girls behind him. Because it's like that fable where the dog has a bone and he looking in the ocean, and then he see the dog in the ocean has a bigger bone. So he drops his bone to grab the bone in the ocean. Now you done lost both your bones. You know what I'm saying? Like J. Cole said, at a certain point, you got to love yours. And dating around does not really promote loving yours. Now make sure that you love yours, but if you love yours, enjoy yours. You know what I'm saying? If what you have is working out and that's what you enjoy, that's what you love, you don't always need to be looking around trying to find something else. Just enjoy the moment of where you are, right? All right, next we have bad habits. I'm putting this one in slight L. So look, when you're just dating around, you're kind of developing bad habits low-key, right? In terms of having a real, in my opinion, relationship. Like, you kind of contact and texting multiple people. If you was in a real relationship, would you actually be doing that? No. And the second thing too is when you're doing stuff casually a little bit, the standards are low-key lower. Like low-key, the standards to be in a casual relationship with a woman, and if you're a woman with a man, are low-key lower. Like you could be sleeping on a sleeping bag on a hard floor and still have a bad Bennington beside you. You feel me? Because y'all just casually dating. It's nothing serious. So she's not thinking like, oh, this is going to be the father of my kids. She's not really thinking like that. She's just thinking like, hey, look, this dude look good. He got good energy. He's a fun time. She just trying to have a fun time. You on the same type of time. Y'all just dating around casually. Now if things start to get more serious, that's when she might be like, hey, do you have a job? Like, hey, what are you doing? Like, are you in school? Are you studying something? Do you have some type of plan? But in a moment, your bad habits are kind of being rewarded, or at the very least, they're not being punished. So you're chilling, but that could be a slight L long term. All right, next we have social proof / magnet. I'll put this one in an upgrade for sure. It's an upgrade for sure. Just because if girls know, like, okay, if Amy knows that Bethany likes you, or Bethany talked to you, or, maybe even that you dated Bethany, now Amy's thinking like, well, I know who Bethany is. If Bethany said that James is cool to date, then that means James must be okay. You feel me? A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll kind of crowdsource their intuition, kind of like the T app that you seen, right? Like somebody be like, well, if Bethany got with him, he can't be that bad. Or why did Bethany get him? You feel me? They might be kind of curious or intrigued, and this can just kind of help you, like you kind of already proving yourself. And then I say magnet too, because that can work like a magnet and kind of attract girls to you. When a girl knows that you have a girlfriend, I'm telling you, they act different. Not all the time, not all women, of course. You know what I'm saying? The same way dudes, if a dude knows that a girl has a boyfriend, some dudes will literally try to now press up on her because they're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You only have to score against one dude instead of scoring against the whole world. That's really how some people are, going back to human nature. You feel me? So it can work as a magnet. All right, and then finally, we got temporary numbness. This one is kind of similar to emotional residue. I'm putting it in double edge because it's like when you're talking to multiple people and something doesn't work out, it is what it is. And that can be a good thing, right? Because, getting back to abundance mentality, you're just like, it is what it is. You're not really tripping. But it can kind of be a slight L because you are kind of numbing yourself to having emotions, which could impact you later if you're trying to have a serious relationship. Because the woman might be like, dang, how come like you're not responding to anything? The woman doesn't feel emotionally secure at all in you because you're just used to keeping everything temporarily numb. Like you're not really pressed about anything. So that's pretty much it for this video, y'all. I had another video, I think it was like why I regret being a player or something like that. It was another tier list video that I made, so check that one out. I think that's what the title was. But yeah, first of all, let me make this disclaimer. I didn't really date around like that. I don't really date around like that for real. Maybe I went on a couple dates, but nothing crazy. So just letting that be known. I'm not Mr. Date Around. That's not me. I'm a good man.